I posted a video a year ago today about why we shouldn't want an end update. In recent months, interest in this update has only grown, and I have received way too many comments to reply to each individually, so this is the follow-up video. My first point in my last video was that the main island would have to be changed for an end update, but this would conflict with old worlds, especially if loot was tied to beating the dragon for the first time. I clearly didn't expand enough on this point, and people rightfully pointed out what they saw as shortfalls in my logic. According to them, an end update could conveniently ignore the dragon fight and the main island. In my defense, I believe that an end update not changing this aspect of the game would be a disaster. There's a careful balance that needs to be maintained. The Ender Dragon is meant to be the most difficult part of the game, with the outer island and Elytra as the reward. Most people begging for an end update see the outer island as a natural part of this progression, yet this can easily lead to problems. We can see this with the addition of netherite. Due to new challenges in the nether, Mojang felt pressured to please the community with a new best material. Yet after 5 years, netherite remains blatantly overpowered. Netherite allows you to tank enemy hits, something you once needed skill to avoid. My point with this is that the outer islands providing more challenge relative to the entrance fee of killing the dragon will mean that the outer islands are seen not as rewards, but as challenges in their own right, warranting new and unbalanced materials. My second point in that video was that the loot would have to be better to provide incentives for visiting the outer islands. I also said that making the Elytra rarer would just discourage more people from actually visiting the islands. Some players argued that better loot wasn't a requirement, and that stone tools would really drive home the concepts of isolation and desolation. Here's the crux of my argument for this point. Better loot, as I explained earlier, would be unfeasible, since it would be wildly unbalanced. However, terrible loot is pointless. By the time you get to the end islands, you don't need stone tools, and at this point, any incentive that you provide to the player has the potential to destroy the game's balance. In the original video, I made the claim that Mojang would have to spend longer to handle the theme of such an important dimension. I optimistically chanted that Mojang would manage to do it spectacularly. I must say that after Mojang's recent disappointments, I have to revise that assessment. I believe Mojang would ruin the aesthetics and ambience of the end. When updating the Nether, Mojang took a very simple approach. Update old models and create new ones, all in one new style. This partially worked in the Nether because the Nether already had a strong identity, a fiery hellscape, and they expanded on it without contradicting that core theme. The end, however, thrives on, as the commenter pointed out earlier, the isolation and desolation. By trying to fill it with content just for content's sake, Mojang risks destroying that unique atmosphere. If the end becomes just another colourful biome zoo, its haunting silence will be gone forever. My final point made in the video was that a respawn block, a block which many who advocate for an end update actively support, would break the dragon fight and much of the current game design. According to commenters, this is untrue, since a respawn block could be soft-locked behind the dragon fight. I don't like their argument. Say the dragon egg was turned into a respawn block. How does that work on multiplayer when many people want to respawn in the end in different places? And what about new players joining for the first time? Will they have to defeat the dragon themselves? And what will count as defeating the dragon? These are all questions that we need to face frankly. These are design dead ends. and we just don't have answers for all of them. The end update is argued for not through clear-headedness and rationality, but through a clouded head of emotions. It sounds amazing until the flaws are pointed out, and, like a house of cards, the entire idea collapses with a poke or two. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, bye!